In the last video, we drew a polyline, taking advantage of polar tracking to keep lines horizontal and vertical, and then we offset it to create the inner polyline, half a unit. A unit represents a foot in this case. We may scale the entire floor plan by factor of 12 if we decide to work with a AutoCAD unit representing an inch. Anyway, it's possible to add internal rooms and add vertices and continue with these polylines. I find it easier to do it the old way, maybe because I learned it the old way, is to explode these two polylines, and that way I can use my regular trim, fillet, stretch, all the commands I learned with regular lines I can use with the regular lines. Once I blast these into regular lines, then later I can weld them into a single polyline again by using the p-edit command, or edit the modified edit polyline icon. Anyway, you explode an icon to blast it into a simpler form of life with this white box with bursting sides under the erase icon on the modify panel of the home tab. Click on explode. Like all modify commands, explode asks you to select objects. Select them both with a crossing window or two individual clicks and hit enter. Now each segment is an individual line. I'm hitting them to show they're separate and hitting escape to deselect them. Say we want to add a few walls in here. I won't take time for good dimensions. Just come down with polar tracking or ortho if you prefer. Maybe offset these lines, O for offset, leave the offset distance 0.5. Again, the icon is right here on the modify panel. Offset them in. Whoops. Okay, I forgot that was a polyline, not regular line, but so much the better. TR for trim, enter for everything, and I can draw a fence to do a lot of the trimming. Zoom in, F for fence. Zigzag around. It's not a good idea to cross the same line twice, but I think AutoCAD's improved on its reliability. You can always trim by individual clicks, or you can select to trim with a crossing window. Now we've got an interior room of this house. Let's go back to weld together the interior of this floor plan, say to estimate how much carpeting it'll take. The way we weld back together a polyline, drop the modify panel down, and this sideways J with a pencil is the edit polyline process, or p-edit type in command. Click on that. It immediately says select a polyline. I'll select one of the interior lines. It says, hey, that's not a polyline. Do you want to turn it into one? Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hit enter or Y enter. Now we can invoke all these options here on the dynamic input list, and also shown on the command prompt, also shown on right clicking. To weld them all back together, select the join option of the p-edit command. While I'm here, I'll select it off the right click menu. Select everything. AutoCAD will only join what is joinable. Hit enter. Now we'll see, now we've welded the interior into a closed polyline. Well, it doesn't look any different. Well, let's launch the width option and fatten it all up. Maybe say 0.1. See the inner polyline fattened up again, indicating that, yep, it's a polyline. Launch width command again, knock it back down to 0 like a regular line. Check it out. We can hit escape to lose the p-edit command. On the properties icon, there's a list tool that'll tell you information about objects you select. Click on the list command or type LI enter. Select this newly formed joined polyline to represent the floor space inside the wall. Hit enter. And the list command tells you, hey, that closed polyline, or should be closed, that the area of this polyline is 1,426 square units. As a bonus, it gives you the perimeters to estimate the crown molding. I'm almost out of time. Hit escape to lose the list command. See you next video.